Is it afternoon yet? Nearly, maybe. Not quite. Good morning, everybody. Chris Haggis, NewVoiceMedia. So, Senior VP of Customer Success. I've been at the company about 5 years, running various services teams and sales engineering, but most recently setting up the customer success team. Where's the... Oh, there it is. We've got any NewVoiceMedia customers in today? A few? Yeah. Okay, good. Well, I'm here, so hopefully I can catch up with you for a coffee or something. So who's NewVoiceMedia? We're basically a cloud contact center, so think of the typical voice services you might get for IVR, ACD, call recording, workforce management, those sort of solutions. We deal that as a cloud offering. We also have a separate stream which is sales as well, outbound sales, so preview dialing, automating your calls for telesales. We do that as well. About 700 customers across the world, and we're backed by some great VCs, and we've got about 380 employees across the world. So offices, services and sales people across the US, in San Francisco and New York, head office in lovely Basingstoke, and an office in Sydney as well. So exactly what we do, we try and do things differently in that because we're a cloud contact center, we can integrate primarily into Salesforce. We do other CRMs as well. But doing that allows us to get the voice interaction tightly integrated to identifying who the customers they're calling, why they're calling, and routing those calls to the right places. So effectively getting a better customer engagement. Rather than a cold call into your contact center, into your help desk, you can identify who they are and do some really intelligent stuff with those calls. The CRM is the desktop, we're the voice into that. So screen popping, understanding where the customers come from. If it's a sales call and coming from a journey on their website, we can link those things up. As I say, on the sales front, we can help managers identify how many outbound calls are being made and increase efficiencies in that respect. So that's us, that's NewVoiceMedia. One of the values of Gainsight is childlike joy, so I thought I would start with a bit of fun. So I'm going to ask my lovely assistant, Kevin Shirley, to come up to the stage. So one of the things with voice is you've got to get the basics right. You've got to get the call quality right. Anyone know what these are? Tin can phones. So if you're talking about emotion, if you're talking about a customer experience and people talking into the phone, if you don't get the voice quality right, you're not, forget anything else. Forget all the sophistication stuff you could do. It's just not going to happen. So a bit of fun. We do this to sort of get the point across. We've invested millions in our nodes. In our voice nodes all across the world, we've made sure we've got the infrastructure to support good voice communications. A lot more sophisticated than this, obviously. So a bit of fun. So what I'll do is I'm going to start. Kevin, if you give me a nursery rhyme, and I'll see if I can guess it. Okay? Or not guess it. I'll say it. Easy one. Jack and Jill. Right. Too easy. That's our pilot. Thank you. Yeah, clap, please. So that was our little pilot. That was to prove that the voice is good. So I think I read that the world record for the longest tin can telephone is 65 meters. So, anyone any idea how long to the end of the room? Anyone? I don't know. I really don't know. But this piece of string is 100 meters. So if we can basically run out of string to the end of the room and get it working, is Norris McWhirter still alive? The Guinness Book of Records guy? I don't know. Maybe we can give him a ring. Sorry, this is like true Blue Peter style. Yeah, nearly that. You got your running shoes on? Yeah. That's a bit fiddly. Right, we're there. Good. Right. Yeah, you take that one and I'll unreal. So the point being, obviously, if you're bouncing your calls, your telephone calls all around the world, your latency is going to get sothering and it's not going to be too good. So, but let's see if this can work. All right. Do you want to run up to the... Now, one thing about this is it will only work if we can keep the string tight. This is running away with me. I feel like one of those cats chasing the string. We're still going. I don't think we're even 20 meters yet. Keep going. Whoa, could be halfway. Keep going, keep going. I reckon that'll do. Try pulling it tight if you can. That's got to be. I don't think that's not going to be 100. Definitely not. But it might be. It might be about 50. Right, stop. So that bit back. Gonna make a right mess. Thank you very much. Gonna make a right mess of the stage. Thank you. I'll tell you what. To make a bit more challenge, why doesn't someone tell Kevin a nursery rhyme to tell me? Let's see if we can get it right. Just so I feel like a magician. Right. Okay, we're ready. Can we pull it tight? Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Thank you. Let it go. That's it. Okay, go for it. Too easy. Humpty Dumpty. Yeah, is that right? Yay! Sorry. Right, well we're set a level now. I'm going to have to, I'll measure what's left and maybe I'll put it on LinkedIn or something and say what we got to. But I reckon that's 40 meters, and that was quite clear. Amazing. Anyway, bit of fun. So I've split my presentation into two. Dan asked me to cover the NewVoiceMedia customer success journey, which I've been part of, as I say, for 5 years, so I can do that very well. But then I want to spend a little bit of time just at the end talking about the importance of emotion that it plays within the interaction. We obviously talked about the fact that if I don't get that good voice quality, you know, I'm not going to be successful, full stop. So that's a really important part in customer communications. Where do we start? So I kind of set the customer success team up in 2014, but really we just called it technical account management. And what we found best was it was professional services people. I think Chris before me mentioned that it's all about product. Really, people who really knew the product very well. And I used to call it kind of free professional services because that's what it was. Customers want time with you. They want to train on it. They want to get the most out of the product. And free because the last thing you want to do, if a customer's not getting the most out of the product, you don't say, well, here, please buy X amount of professional services days to put it right. You've just got to do it. You've got to get on with it. You've got to crack it. The other thing we did, which was a big plus very early on, was we built what we call our trust site, which is our uptime. We're talking about cloud contact center services. We're talking about critical communications. Some of our customers do run, almost life-impacting services. And if you have any downtime, you need to be on that. You need to be aware of that. Therefore, our uptime, telling if there's any service issues or anything like that, making that public was a very critical point. Last year, we moved much more proactive, so effectively setting up the customer success team, getting product usage metrics. We use Salesforce, massive user of Salesforce and integrated to it as well. So bringing those usage metrics into our CRM, aligning it with the customer records, very important part. Segmentation of our base and knowing where to align with strategic stuff, with tech touch on CSM was important. Customer events, I'll talk about a bit more, but get going on those, meet your customers, build those relationships, very important. And I think we left churn tracking a little bit late properly, really. We kind of started that. We were too busy building the business, selling, growth, all the rest of it, and not keeping an eye on churn, which we sort of corrected last year and got a handle on that. This year, much more alignment with the customer success managers and the account managers. So in our business, account managers look after the renewal and the upsell and the commercial and the relationship side, or some of the relationship side of it. And then customer success managers are focused on the product. We still do, we've moved our product usage into a more of a manual health scoring. So I think, again, Chris mentioned it about keeping track of where they are, having notes on the customer record that our professional services team or anyone can put onto the CRM record, ragging it so you know whether the customers, what temperature the customer are. We're very hot on that, Relentless renewals focus. So we have, weekly calls where we bring on all the CSMs and AMs and go through all the renewals and make sure we've got a good plan, know where we are with those customers. We've introduced Tech Touch, and more from a community perspective. So we built a community hub that allows customers to go in there, get help. They can ask for a request to do a webinar and get some help building reports or whatever they want to do. And again, not putting as much available resource into that product usage. We set up customer advisor boards, which have been really good to go and see those customers, have a round table, share the roadmap with them, the product roadmap with them, and get their thoughts and the feedbacks on the directions we're going. And what we're going to be doing next year, our AMs and our CSMs aren't aligned on their comp plans. They'll be aligned on the comp plans, the same metrics. Net revenue retention will be the big one, to align them both on that side of things. We will keep our CSMs aligned with the product adoption and value. We will be segmenting our customer success team, so effectively in one pool at the moment, but we'll be going strategic, direct, and tech touch. We will be investing in the customer success team. We'll be growing that. More automation, so customer success systems, so using early warning systems, all that sort of stuff. As we get to the growth, you can't keep a handle on 700 customers and know where they are, so you have to have some automation to keep an eye on the usage and alert for an early warning system. And as I said, we'll be investing more in the community hub. So some of my learnings for the last 5 years, the escalation process was a big one for us because of the fact that some of the services we offer are critical. They're very important. Customers can't survive without running contact center for a few minutes sometimes. We had to have the best escalation process we've got, and we've got that. Focus on the renewals, getting that earlier. We probably left that a little bit too late. We should have had that had an ey on that earlier. So big focus on that. The events. I think Chris again. Could just repeat Chris's presentation, but the events were fantastic. I think it was last year or the year before actually, but we moved into a new office. We kind of thought, oh, it's great. We've got a new space. We're down in Basingstoke. Could we get customers down to there? Let's try it. So we invited customers down to come down to us for a barbecue. Lovely day. We had over 100 customers turn up. Got the train out of London, a lot of them, and we just didn't think that would happen. But they were so thankful for the ability to come down and meet us and meet all our developers and meet the team. That it was a really successful event. So those sort of events, I think you need to get going early. It doesn't matter how big they are. Doesn't matter. Just build them early. And the other two things were which I kind of mentioned earlier, the alerting system, so the trust site, tell customers what's going on, keep the communication flowing, be proactive. If you've got a problem in a particular region, on a particular carrier or something, doesn't matter, tell them what's going on. And the community hub is a fantastic resource for me. So I go onto the community hub, not quite daily, but a couple of times a week, and I'll just look to see what customers are talking about. And again, they'll be talking to each other about what's good, what's bad, and I can really get some good insight. And I really encourage our product managers to do the same. So they're able to see what's hitting the spot, what we're getting right, and what we're not getting right. So the NewVoiceMedia contact center. This is how we kind of focus ourselves on our delivery of our support to our customers. So it starts with the community. So the community hub, it sits within the ownership kind of is within support, right? So within the support team. Again, support isn't just about break fix. Isn't just about fixing people's problems and waiting until they call. Let them be the community. Let them be the experts. Let them have the resources to tell customers about things. And we're really driving that. We're proactive, I talked about. Omni-channel, let them communicate in any manner they want, whether it's voice, whether it's email, whether it's SMS, all that's got to come to the same place, and all that's got to be integrated so that you can identify customers on those different channels. Intelligent routing, identify the person, so if the customer's phoning in and it's around a case, let them enter the case and get to the case straight to the case owner. Make that journey easy. single CRM and CTI, the unified desktop. First call resolution, I think, still a massively important stat in a call center. You know, it's all about the effortless journey. It's all about making it really easy. We use quality surveys. We've just launched a speech analytics platform as well, so we can delve into the call recordings and get those categories out and understand what customers are saying without having to manually listen to the call recordings, but again, that's a big part. And keep improving, just keep continuously improving. So that's kind of what our contact center likes. Still got a lot to do. We're always developing, we're always evolving there. So that was us. Kind of the second part of the presentation, really some of the strategies that we're working with our customers. In a customer support center, you know, there's talk about making the journey, making the experience a delight. That's really hard to do. You know, there's a great book here from one of our customers, CEB, where, you know, there's only 12% chance of really delighting a customer on their experience. They phone you to get something fixed. You know, that's kind of as good as it gets. So if you can make that journey as effortless as possible, that's the way to go. And just on that, the effortless experience. So Harvard and some great stats there from Forrester that customers want you to reduce the effort. They just want you to solve the issue quickly and, you know, give them time back. So there's a little customer experience formula there that we use. You know, was your goal achieved? So was it achieved the first time? Is worth about 25% of the whole customer experience. You've probably seen this before. It's a Forrester well-known formula. But it's really, really, really important. How easy was it to achieve? So did we make the journey effortless? And then how did it make you feel? What was the emotional part of that? You know, I'm not expecting to be laughing at the end of the call and having a great thing, but it would be nice just to kind of know that actually I felt all right with that. You solved my issue, and I feel good you did it in a good way. So we talked about first call resolution being important, but making the journey. Self-service is a great way. The technology we've got now at our fingertips with all the cloud stuff, all the CRM stuff, all can be integrated. Slack, there's some fantastic things you can do with the APIs on that. Well, why not make it, you know, easy for your customer that technology makes the effort reduce. So great example of that, I was at Dreamforce in San Francisco. Took some customers out for dinner, went to pay, and guess what? My card got declined. Literally, which is kind of not a great place if you've got to pay for dinner for customers. However, literally a couple of seconds later, the SMS pops through and says, oh, just noticed you're in the US. Is that okay? Yes or no? Yes, it is okay. Yes. And my card got, you know, authorized. That's so effortless. That's great. That's brilliant. And that, you might think, well, that's nothing to do with the contact center. Well, it kind of is, really, because it's a service center. It's a service offering. Otherwise, I would have had to pick up the phone the contact center, spent, you know, 5-10 minutes talking it through. Well, they just took that whole problem away. And that was Tesco MasterCard, by the way. Omnichannel we talked about. And then the last thing is frontline. The people on the desk, the people in the contact center, the people who are kind of answering those calls are a great source of interaction. Why customers are calling, what's going on in your contact center. So if you're in the position of customer success and you really want to know what's going on, go and talk to the frontline people. Go and talk to the support desk people. Lots of our customers I meet, they do have an internship where they will take a rota and going on to the help desk and sitting in that contact center just for a couple of days answering calls. I think this is my last slide, but I'll leave you with this. It's Daniel Kahneman's formula, if you like, called the peak-end rule. And what that's saying is that people judge their experience largely on how it felt at the peak, when you were really phoned or contacted for the piece you're after, and then at the end. So we talked a bit this morning around customer journey mapping and really understanding why customers are calling and the important parts. Try and focus on those those 2 points, and you can get it right. So, you know, there's a little bit of a insight into some of the strategies that we're using at NewVoiceMedia now. I think that's me. So thank you very much.